top section on page AYIN Vav. Line begins with the word mipnay, shemisrachi metzem adon. His spoilers being mispoiled, being excited. At the thought of it and at countering it, excitement is only when one is outside, and it's called in a distance from the etzem. Sorry, today I can't. The principle of etzem versus what comes in midot is very simple. Is this: etzem is as the thing is unto itself. Midot take it as the thing and express itself and is meaningful to him. When he takes of it, that's a midot. Etzem is how the yin is unto itself. Mochin are more interested in what the etzem is rather than how I see it. That's why in Mochin there is not his spoilers. In midot there is his spoilers. Okay. Again, the line begins with this: Misrach metzem adon. V'hamidos hareihem b'bchinas hispoilus. The midos are b'bchinas hispoilus, are in a state, and the whole and the presence of midos is in hispoilus. Shemispoil alelkus. We're talking about in avodah. Shemispoil alelkus. He is mispoiled. He is affected in contemplating the beauty and the greatness of alelkus. That's a midas, and the goodness of alelkus. All of these things is how he perceives them, not how it is unto itself. Zehu, and this is the fact that midas is mispoiled, alelkus. Mipnay shehem b'bchinas richuk min ha'etzem, because midas are b'bchinas richuk as in a distance. The whole meaning of midas is at a distance from the etzem, from the essence itself. Etzem means the fundamental, the primary truth. Etzem is beyond its effect, beyond but the essential truth of itself. Or be proud, particularly when you're focusing on another aspect, another side of midas. Mashe b'midos, in the fact that in midas, roitze, he wants the hakiru with greatest malakus. He is seeking to experience the closeness and the cleavage, the connection to Elokus. Meaning, sheyiyeh hagilui b'nafshe, that the gilui Elokus should be internal to him. He should experience this Elokus. This is what midas are seeking. Or b'bchinas simoy, or b'bchinas simoy, there is the aspect of simoy of the thirst. He's missing it. All that is reflective of the personal want, a person's need. Harei kol zeh shayach b'bchinas harichuk. All of these elements and experiences are shayach only b'bchinas harichuk, in the richuk state, when the one is at a distance. The oz reitze b'hagilu, because when he is, so then when he is b'richuk, reitze b'hagilu, he wants the gilu yelikus. Because in richuk, that's what he's liking. Let's translate these words a little bit. Bikiruv is not that he's got the gilu. Bikiruv means that he has the essence, the etzem. When he has the etzem, he doesn't need the gilu. But when he's at a distance, the only way that he can relate to it is through gilu. That's when then he's looking for the gilu.
Because the only way, because you cannot relate directly to etzem, relates to.
It's not there.
So no, it's gilu, but why does he seek gilu and not the etzem itself? The goal seems to be to
Midas,
find etzem.
right? Midas do not have that capacity. That's in Mochin. Midas can seek only that which they can be experiencing.
That's gilu.
Etzem you cannot experience. When you're in presence of the etzem, that overwhelms all your other desires.
And that's why the midas are rotze by giluing.
Right.
They're looking
Because midas are berichuk, b'chinas richuk. Calls a side b'chinas harichuk. The oz reitze b'hagilu. When he is in the richuk, this is when he wants the gilu, not the etzem, but the hagilu, that which comes forth. The oz b'chinas simoin, and then in the richuk state, he has the aspect of simoin. The b'chinas hakiru, because in the b'chinas hakiru, in the state of kiru, in the experience of kiru, and he calls ein shayach klal. All of these inyonim of tzimoim and the b'hagilui ein shayach klal. B'derech klal, in general, now it's at higher level, yesh hefresh b'mochin gamkin. Within Mochin itself, there are also different states and different levels. Shezeho ha'hefresh ben chochma lebina, which, for example, is a difference between chochma and bina. The binah, who begins his spoilers or his laps, where binah is in a hispoilus manner and an excitement manner. Binah, there is what's called the wow. The chochma hi b'chashoyi davka. Chochma is experienced b'chashoyi, a very peaceful and quiet manner, overwhelmed by the etzem.
Wait, binah is still safe, or yet there's a wow
That's right.
element?
Right.
It's not a midah.
No, it's not a midah, it's a seichel. But there is a wow element. Binah is not is seichel. But it is seichel. The principle of binah is it recognizes how all the things that it recognizes are actually rooted and coming from chokhmah. And the principle of binah, the reason that binah is of such unique quality is that whatever binah gets and obtains and recognizes, it is constantly reverting back and attributing it to the chokhmah.
And that attribution is kind of covering a richuk. It's a little
That's
bit of
right.
a richuk there.
That's right. This is why it's seichel. It recognizes that this is AYIN sichel. So even though he is identifying aspects as they are identifiable externally, but he recognizes that he is getting those pieces of information from the essence, not independently.
And how is it in midot?
Okay, so let's take good. I'll answer that. Let's take this through, carry it through. How would it be if the order in binah would be opposite? He's taking it from the detail to the whole. Then every detail that he adds, and he sees, oh, look at this. We can even have this. We can even have this. This is every detail will add another piece of excitement. Whereas when binah is a derivative of the chokhmah, then everything that he identifies is engulfed in the chokhmah. Let's take an example that we almost take. A home. A home, we said many times, contains all the details, all the nuances of human experience. So if in a home there is a table, a chair, and whatever else, all that falls back to the definition of the home itself. It does not increase the experience of a home. It doesn't make the home any bigger. You identify more details from the home. If it were not included in the home, if you identify them independently, then yes, everything would be another increase in your awareness.
And yet in binah that comes from chokhmah, we're saying there's this philus and islavus, even though there's not this.
Doesn't say Yispalis, that's your words.
I'm just reading it.
What?
I'm saying, we're saying that the binah that comes from chokhmah, are we saying that the binah that comes from chokhmah is this philus and islavus, even though it's coming from chokhmah, and everything was already included, and you're just identifying that which was included, it's still his philus and islavus.
It includes his islavus, yeah, but that's right, because he takes it as he takes it in the derivative. But we point out that binah is still not midas. He's not taking it as an outside. He's taking it from the chokhmah. Otherwise, what's the difference between binah and chokhmah and midas? There is a big difference. Binah is still part of the Mochin.
It would seem like if binah came before chokhmah, then there would be his philus and his lavus. But if it's coming from chokhmah,
that's right. Well, the beginning of his philus and his lavus in binah is The Yispolos and Slavos of binah is not from the discovery of the item, of the elements. It is Yispolos and Slavos of the greatness of the etzem. It's a different kind of Yispolos. Not like every addition creates, increases the etzem. It doesn't. It's Yispolos and Slavos of the greatness of the etzem. And the closeness of the etzem. But in binah, there is always the effect of the chokhmah, and that's why in binah there is also the element of quietude relative to midos. Finishes pilots with Islavos in binah is different than the pilots with Islavos of midos. Relative to Chochmah, it's called Ispalos Islavos. But it's not. Binah, let's put it this way: midos are experienced through Ispalos Islavos. Binah is not experienced through Ispalos Islavos. Binah is experienced by awareness, by knowing it, by connecting to it. But because that I'm identifying that which is derived from it, therefore there is an element of Ispalos and Slavos that I can see what is contained in this etzem. But the etzem, but the idea is that I'm connected still to the etzem. This is one area that needs to be reflected. Binah is part of Mochin. And the reason that binah gets this kind of lofty compliment is because binah, whatever it gets, is because it is bottled to the chokhmah. It gets into the chokhmah and identifies things that are contained in the chokhmah. In our Mosholim of the home, it would be like this. You said many times, you can stand outside and look through the window and identify all the things that are contained in the house. This is, and you're excited, you're spoiled what there is in the house. This is like midas. Because you don't have the essence. And you're identifying all the things that you can long for. But then you step into the house. When you step into the house, your perspective changes. You step into the house, you don't lose sight of all the things that you identify from outside. They're all in there. But now they're part of the house. And you recognize in each one of them how they are complementary of the house. So you're not excited about a table per se. You're excited about the home that it has also a table. It's a different kind of excitement. It is getting into and understanding the richness of a home rather than the richness of a table and a chair. In Chochmah, there is no Yispolos of it. Because Chochmah relates not to the amenities of a home, but to the reality of the home, the essence of it.
Binah relates to both?
Binah relates to the essence as it is identifiable from the experiential perspective. In other words, let's say this. What's the essence? Odom she'eino bayis in yod. So this is an essential inyan. Now, practically speaking, if he has a house a home, the home will be designed to suit him, his usage, his needs. A home is not just four walls. A home is full of accommodations for the human being. So all these accommodations are part of the home principle. Except that Chokhmah recognizes the essence of a home. He said, what is the home? Why is Odom Shem Bayis in the home?
There's no spirals of that recognition.
No. Why is Odom Shem Bayis in the home? This goes to the essence of the human being. Odom Shem Bayis in the home means that he does not have a place in the world.
Why is there a spirals in recognizing that manatees of the home? Why does binah get a sense of excitement from seeing the table? Or putting the table there?
Because there's a functional element in there. It is bringing the inner from the home more on an internal level, giving you a chance to experience it, not just to have it, but to experience it.
So on account of it being shayach to experience, there's excitement?
That's right.
Masha'en can by
Chokhmah is not an infinite excitement, not an infinite experience. Chokhmah is
the truth of it.
the truth of it. That's right.
And when we say experience, the experience of the reality.
Yeah, it's always wrong, but it's still experience.
Yeah.
And experience has to do with having and not having, active and not active.
That's right. Ultimately, yeah, experience goes in that direction also. This is why there is a spoilers and binah.
But again, that his spoilers is different from the excitement in midot.
Midot. Right.
Much-
In midot, the difference is simply this. In midot, a table adds something completely that he didn't have before. In binah, it does not add what he didn't have before. It reveals that which was there before. These are subtle things, but they're very significant principles. Like I said, when a person steps into the home, he's no longer identifying individual entities. He doesn't say, oh, this home has a table, has a chair. No, he doesn't even look at it that way. And yet, he certainly recognizes them. And when he sees a table, he says, oh, yeah, I see how it fits in here. Okay, I think we went far enough. As we know, as is known, the difference between kohenim and levi'im. The avedas ha-kohenim b'chashoi u'berusa deliba. The kohenim, they did their aveda in mezamidos. B'chashoi in a quiet manner. U'berusa deliba, they had their personal involvement, no question about it. But the personal involvement is called Re'usa Deliba, the level of Rotzi, rather than Midas. David is Alvim, and then in contrast, David is Alvim, who Naroma Kola, to raise your voice, Bibchinas Islavos, which represents Islavos. To raise your voice is already an expression of Islavos, of excitement, of heating up. The who, and this is the very thing, ha'hefes ben b'chinas ha'chochma, between the b'china of chochma and the b'chinas bitul mamash. Chochma, which is in bitul mamash, in true bitul, Let's define it for a moment. Chochma, b'chinas bitul mamash. What does that mean, b'chinas bitul mamash? Since in Chochma you identify with the etzem, identifying with the etzem, the only way to identify with the etzem is that you completely forget about yourself. You recognize only the truth of the etzem. Thank you very much. The truth of the etzem itself. This is how you identify with the etzem. Like in our example of a father and a son. And we said that the connection between the father and the son is etzem. If the father identifies or the son identifies while they have this connection, identifies the qualities of each. Oh, my son is so good looking. My son is so good and so kind and so smart. That's not recognizing the etzem. The etzem is when you completely forget about your personal experience. Just the reality of the etzem itself. That's it. Chochma b'chinas bitul mamash. What is the ed mamash? True bitul. Bitul mamash means the following. When one is mispoiled of the greatness of something, it's also a different bitul. It's mispoiled of how great this is. But that bitul is coming from his personal experience. Chochma is a completely different thing. Bitul mamash. He's completely overwhelmed, and he's not interested in his personal experience at all. It is the truth of what he has, the truth of what this in is. This is what he is standing in front. True bitul. Let's put it this way. The beginners bitul mamash in Chochma, in binah and in midot, for sure. When you recognize something great, you are bent, you are drawn to get to know it more. What it entails, how does it work? In Chochma there is not that aspect of it. You take it as it is, and the less you know about it, the greater it is. Because you recognize that this is not knowable. What you want to connect it is not to what you can know, but what it is in reality, which is not knowable. And the bitul mamash this is what connected to this thing. So Chochma is b'chinas bitul mamash. This is why Chochma is so primary, connected to the real thing. B'chinas binah, on the other binah hui shehuinyan hasoga, which is the aspect of hasoga. Hasoga means comprehension. Hasoga also means reaching in.
A grasp.
Grasp. Hasoga means catching on. What do you call it? Grasping. There is another word. The point is that he actually catches it, he gets to it.
Latching on.
Harei hu b'chinas yeshu mitzias. Thus, in binah is b'chinas yeshu mitzias. Because if you are masik, you grasp something, what it means for you to grasp it is through your own faculties. And to grasp something, you have to be aware. You cannot grasp anything without being aware that you're grasping. Being aware of yourself. Although, okay, now we're turning back the wheels. Mochin in general include chokhmah and binah. Mochin in general are b'chinas habitul, are in the realm of bitul. Not only from being mochin. Mochin are not in order for personal experience, but to be with the truth. B'chinas habitul. Chokhmah and binah. And thus in Mochin shines Gilui Oir. Gilui Oir, we already know what that means. The revelation of Oir. That's meant Gilui Oir. The impact of the Oir. The impact of the Oir is how the Oir is coming forth from the etzem, not how it affects you. And in Mochin is Meir Gilui Oir. Gilui Oir, the impact of Oir, like we said, the simple invitation says that if a person owns a home, and the minute he steps into the home, there's a sense that he is there. What does it mean that he is, the sense that he is there? The significance of him owning a home, this is Gilui Oir. This is called Gilui Oir. Like we said, this is everything has and helps us to connect and to understand the principle. We said a home which is fully appointed, fully developed, but there's an important ingredient in this. The development is all how we perceive it. But there is an essential ingredient is that somebody actually lives there. There's a reality behind this whole development. This is called Gilui Oir. So, Mochin will relate to the Gilui Oir. Midot will relate to the design of the home. Because Mochin there is in habitul. Because there's in habitul, Meir Bahem Gilui Oir. They relate to the reality itself, to the impact of the etzem. Of the etzem, rather than the consequence of how it makes it comfortable for him to live there. Midot, whereas the midot heim behis poilus murgeshes. And this is different because you said before in binah there's his poilus and his slavos. We have to understand. So the Rebbe explains his poilus murgeshes. In binah there's his slavos, but not for the purpose of personal experience. It is his poilus is from recognizing the essence, not how it affects me.